Yo everyone. Another day, another game. Today I'm here with Gauson. Hello Gauson. Gauson? Hello? Oh, hello Gauson.
Hello, hi guys.
I made an
Welcome,
introduction, but I muted myself on Discord, so you didn't hear me.
Great, nice introduction. So, could you repeat that?
No.
Okay, so
let
I
me
can
just fix
start.
that. Yeah, you go on.
Sure. So we have cross position map, so probably this game won't be long. We are expecting something quick from the players, as usually in those types of map. So today we have 2 Romans and 2 Egyptians. Team is playing Egyptians, and together with exchange, I mean not together in the team, but with the same race. And on the other side we have Eagle with Romans, Stecken with Romans.
Alright, should be good to go. I don't know, it just mutes I just mute myself for some reason. Alright.
So yeah, so maybe let's talk about the bans at the beginning.
Who started banning?
Exchange was banning first, and he banned Amazons and Romans. And then Finn banned Asians, and they ended up with Egyptians. Then Eagle banned Amazons and Egyptians, and Stecken banned Asians, and we had Romans in the end.
Alright, it's a cross spawn, not on the same side of the mirror. It looks like the players of the opposite race are closer to each other. So it should be again Roman fighting the Egyptian in this case. Should be interesting. I think they have both similar spots. Lots of stone, lots of space too, not the best space to be honest, quite uneven for the Egyptian, and there's a bit of a water situation going down from for the Roman guy. But it's not too bad, I would say.
Yeah, I would say that it is a little bit hilly on the Egyptian side, but yeah, they have a lot of space, which is really good for them.
No, it's only a matter of where they decide to expand into. Obviously, they have to go for the mountains first, secure that for themselves. Probably not towards the middle, but towards the enemies in this case. I think orange should go over the mountain, and same as for the exchange in this case. Exchange doesn't decide to go over the mountain. I think it's because the eagle is applying a lot of pressure, but I don't think eagle will be able to build that tower there.
Yeah, it's really far away through the mountains. I don't think that he should build that tower. He shouldn't even try, I mean.
Going for it, he's stubborn, I guess. But it actually might be built because there's a stone right by the mountain for exchange, and so he won't be able to build his tower as close, and I think it will be just out of range. I mean, the pink tower will be just out of range, providing he gets it in time, because he's using the Pio Street method. Eagle, that is, and it just we can see that the pioneers are very slow.
It's not really effective when you are out of the range of your starting tower. You probably should do that manually in that case.
Yeah, maybe. I think a lot of people don't know it actually. The farther you are on the map with the pioneers from your towers, the slower the pioneers work. If you use the create path feature, if you take the land normally, they work just fine. It's when you use the new feature they slow down.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why when you are making a long path, you probably should start. I mean, you can start with a street, but then you should change that and do everything manually. And also one more thing that I'm noticing like almost every game is that you probably should think about making the street first instead of going to the place where you want to build and only then making the street back. Because if you think about it, you have to travel 2 times the same path, right? Instead of just one. So maybe he should have started with a street and only then decide when he wants to build the tower.
Yeah, exactly. Save those few valuable seconds in this case, and sometimes might mean that you get the tower and the enemy doesn't. I think a lot of players go for the spot for the tower first is because they're not really sure whether they can fit the tower there. You know, it would be kind of awkward to make the street and then only to figure out you can't actually build a tower at the end.
Yeah, I agree, but yeah, in some cases, like it may be even better that way because yeah, we are still not sure if Eagle will make it. Exchange is building the tower on the left, so I'm not sure if Eagle will be fast enough for that mountain. And if he won't, then it's a big waste of time, right? The time for making the street, then maybe the time of the shoveler, like it's a lot of waste.
Yeah, you invest not only the pioneers but your IPM as well. Will be spent somewhere else. I think Eagle will be able to build that tower in the end, but it won't, like, exchange will be fast obviously, but he won't crush Eagle's tower. I don't think so. At least. Alright, I'm interested.
I mean, yeah, I don't think so as well, but maybe it will be fast enough to beat 2 towers. I mean...
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe the shovels already go for Eagle there. But even if he gets the tower up, it's extremely difficult to defend against the Roman guy. The Egyptian, I mean.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm really curious what they go for in this case. This is a Stecken, a white player. This is exchange. I'm still learning who is who. Let's take a look at the builds first. Nothing too out ordinary for exchange in this case. He goes for the medium residence, and he doesn't go for the third one before Iron Smelter. And I think his sawmill is a bit slow. He's building the mines immediately. I mean, he's a bit rusty maybe because he hasn't been really playing that much recently.
Or maybe he's just planning to play something really fast, because here we can see that he's not building any farm. Which is like exactly what Stin is doing right now.
But he's building the coal mine without having the sawmill. I think that's a bit of a misplay right there. And let's compare with Steen as a farm. A bit sketchy.
Really strange farm. I'm not sure if it will be working, to be honest.
Yeah, but I prefer his order of building in general, I would say. He has the sawmill relatively fast, adding 5th stonecutter. I don't like the positioning, but who cares? Adds a 2nd sawmill and a forester. He's also building the tower over the mountain, as I suggested at the beginning. And is going to the right, possibly to cut the trees down and build waterworks and fishes as well.
Yeah, I also do like how he's approaching this spot. I mean, his tower over the mountains is much better than the 1 or 2 towers that Exchange built, right? I mean, with that 1 tower, he will secure the mountain without any issues.
Yep. The Exchange invested a lot more, and basically will get the same reward, just spending a bit more resources. And he has this coal mine up. I'm sure it was intentional. I don't think it's a good idea to build the mine before the weaponsmith and iron smelter, but maybe he knows something we don't. He's also going for the marketplace very quickly. There's a spy from Igelschnauze entering his land from left hand side. We'll see if he gets spotted. I think Eagle will be quite alarmed if he sees the iron smelter being so advanced already.
Yeah, especially when his spot is not so good. I mean, it won't be easy to fit the weaponsmith. I'm not sure if he should build that farm so quickly.
Yeah, he goes for the farm before any winery even, and he now sees the the iron smelter. Let's see what his reaction is. So far, he's going for the iron smelter himself. He should be able to fit the weaponsmith somewhere on the left, maybe. Well, let's see. I hope he doesn't panic. But he also should be worried. Yeah, exchange fit two pyramids next to each other. I'm not really sure how. I think it should be like they should shovel quite fast, right? Because the shovels are right there. And also, what's interesting, Eagle sees everything. This guy has a very good spying game. He's entering another spy. His spy is entering from the right hand side this time, and he sees the pyramids. He has all the information in the world.
And he managed to build that tower.
Yeah, he was even first before Exchange, so Exchange is building at least that tower on the left. Completely unnecessarily, unless he wants to secure the coal, but... Exchange found some gems on the right hand side. I'm not sure how good they are. They're a bit in between iron ore. I'll see if Exchange decides to build it there.
Yeah, probably his own tower will block him a little bit. I'm not sure if he should build that tower at all. It's not really needed, to be honest.
Yeah.
He probably should just crash it.
Eagle can't even build his tower over the mountain, so I don't think he should be worried about it being towered or anything. And I'm looking over to Steinbach. He found a nice iron, which Exchange lost to Eagle's tower. He also found great coal, and he has that farm. It's a bit sketchy, the farm, but it's working just fine. He had to.
It should be fine.
He had to move the working field slightly to the right.
It will be a little bit slower, but this game probably won't be that much long to notice it. I mean, it will be enough for level 2.
Yeah, obviously. It's better to have the farm faster than worry about it being perfectly placed. Now, Stecken. My friend, what you doing? He's going for 2 wineries. I think he tried to build the third, but...
Build third.
Oh, has a third. Okay, I'm just blind, I'm sorry. I was under the impression that he had another one building right from the weaponsmith, but it's just shovelers doing their work. Okay, so he's going for three wineries and a weaponsmith. So it doesn't look like they're both rushing, especially now, because he just placed 2 farms in the north, above that little forest over there. So maybe Exchange isn't really... Maybe it's just Exchange that will push. Possibly because he thinks that Igelschnauze will play greedy and then he can abuse it and take back the land that he lost initially. Do you think he has any chances of succeeding, of taking that tower from Eagle?
Yes, I'm a little bit worried about Eagle, to be honest, because yeah, Exchange is already doing so. He has a gem mine, which won't be the best, but yeah, it's 2 versus 2, so if you start, then there might be a problem.
Yeah, Eagle, I think, got a glimpse into what the weapons are being produced. I think he saw 1 sword. It doesn't mean much for the Egyptian, because as an Egyptian, it's better to always make a few swords at the beginning. Only after first 8 weapons you sort of make the decision whether you go for all-in swords or you switch to bows. So you have to keep tabs on them at all times if you really want to know what they're doing. And also what's worrying for Eagle is that I think the mines for Exchange should be very good. Not the gem mine obviously, but the coal at least. I'm not sure how good the iron is on the left hand side.
Not so good, at least right now. I think he will go all in with the sword because he's already moving them on the market.
Yeah, close to the barracks.
So I don't think that he will change that, especially that he's going to pyramid. So yeah, he won't have to level 2s.
So Eagle is in a bit of a trouble, mostly because he doesn't have settlers. I don't think he realizes that he has plenty of the pioneers on the right. He should really turn them back into humans, into carriers, and because they're just not carrying the resources to the weaponsmith, he desperately needs at least a few soldiers to trying to hold what's coming. And good for him that he didn't really commit to more farms. He has only 2 wineries, adding a 3rd. I don't think I like that. I think he should go for another weaponsmith, especially considering he saw a lot, like most of what exchanges did.
So Stin is doing spears, old school style.
I think that's for the defense, right? He will try to help his ally. He also did not find the gems that exchange did. Kind of a bummer for him. And obviously Steen will be a bit slower with the level 2. He has the pyramid already leveled, but he's going for the brewery, sphinx and waterworks. I don't think he can fit them now. Oddly enough, it's awfully... oh, only here maybe. It's awfully large building. It's very difficult to fit them sometimes. It's the same for the fishes. Just Egyptians have very awkward buildings.
Should be able to do so after he cut 2 more trees, I believe, on the right side.
Yeah, he already can fit it. It's just not it's not like perfect. Steen should also turn the pioneers into carriers, because he will lack settlers in a bit, mostly because they will start carrying all the resources to the newly placed buildings.
Yeah, so the problem is that he will be very late with level 2, and Eagle can see right now, because he's spying, that the pyramids are getting built already. To be honest, this game might be over very soon.
I'm not sure. They should probably decide to recruit level 1 and just send them to Igelschnauze. He has a few weapons already built, but the barracks are still not done yet. He solved the settlers issue. Eagle, that is good for him. We'll see. I wouldn't force him out just yet, but it's going to be a ban rush as well. Exchange managed to find another place for another pyramid. Very close to his building already, so the 3rd one should be also very fast. He messed up a bit with the weapons, but settlers actually, he doesn't have settlers to carry stuff to the weaponsmith and the iron smelter. And I think,
yeah, but he realized that because the medium house just finished, so
yeah, 2 actually.
Yeah, 2 exactly.
Yeah, he is very fast on this spot, so I think at least that's 1 power Eagle will lose, and without help from his ally I think he might die, as you said. It'll be a fast game. On the other hand, Stecken... Yeah?
He has to recruit level 1, there's no way he will be able to go for level 2.
Yeah, I don't think that will be enough either. He needs lots of pioneers to mitigate the ban. I think it will be very difficult to defend without perfect split and then pioneers to soak up some of the... Like basically he has to ban like half of his soldiers, half of another half with pioneers. Otherwise I don't think he can make it. On the other hand, Steckenpferd is playing a relatively standard game. Three wineries, 2 grain farms, weaponsmith. He's going for a mix of bows and spears in this case. I'm not really sure why spears. Maybe he's afraid of Steen. Interesting. He's placing another tower in the front, possibly to build some sort of a bunker. I'm not really sure. But he's playing very solid. I'm not really too big fan of the forest that he made. I think it's a bit too clumped up, but it's working just fine. He's adding a third sawmill in this case. Solid gameplay.
Everything looks just fine. He's now adding the second weaponsmith after 2 farms. Just very good build order.
So even if the rush doesn't work as they would like to, then they still have a follow-up. Stecken can just continue playing and carry the game in if it ever goes into a mid-game. The 2 farms that he built. Good for Eagle is that the gem mine is quite awful, 30%. So the exchange only has 50 on combat power. I mean, it's still quite a bit, but you could have had more.
Yeah, I mean, 2 more percent and he will go through next damage spike.
It looks like the exchange will not wait for the 3rd pyramid. He's moving in with the soldiers now. Igelschnauze is a bit out of position with the spears in the back. I think this tower will inevitably fall. I see he still doesn't see the soldiers moving in. It's a shame because he was very aware up till this point. Okay, he sees it now. He pushes in. I think he should be able to defend this case. There's no ban for exchange. He has the spike, 53%. And let's see that the soldiers are pounding on the tower's door as we speak. And he goes back. He sees that there's too much resistance for Igelschnauze. I'm not sure, rightfully so. Maybe he would have taken that tower, but maybe he thought that the damage would be too much. And he just prefers to wait for the ban. A much safer option.
I think that's a good decision. Like, he's not really in a hurry because his ally is playing very well. So I think he can just wait for more swords.
I'm curious why Steen isn't really moving to help. I think he should be. He recruited some over once, but he's just standing by his board. I think he just has no clue what Stecken is doing. Oh, no, he is. So I'm not really sure why he's just waiting there. He's in no danger whatsoever if he sends even half of his army. His level 2 is very slow. He even forgot the waterworks I was talking about. I think he was waiting for the perfect spot and then he forgot to build it. So he's I mean, a few minutes away from the level 2s at least.
Yes, that's a big issue right now for him. I mean, it's 2 versus 2, so with 2 weaponsmith from second he could be in danger, to be honest. Yeah, that's not the case right now. I'm not sure if he knows that.
He has the spy right in the middle, but...
I mean, he's going somewhere with his spear, but yeah, I'm not sure. I think he's going to ally right now.
Yeah. Trying to go over the mountain, but...
It might be too late, to be honest.
Yep. Maybe there's a... You have to remember there's the snow barrier that you'll have to go around before he gets there, and the 3rd pyramid is halfway done for exchange. And even if he sends how many? 1, 2... I have to count 9 soldiers. I don't think that will be enough to defend. He probably would have to send some more pioneers. Or Eagle should make more pioneers, but he can't do so because he has no settlers currently.
Yeah, it's a very tough situation for Roman players in this game because they cannot do that much, in my opinion. I mean, like, they can mostly defend. Level 2 is slow, so yeah. Only now Stecken is building large temple.
And Exchange is moving in with the band. He crushed the three pyramids he built. And it's a shame because Eagle is piling up weapons by the barracks. Has not recruited the bows. He has a few pioneers, but not enough. He's lacking settlers really badly. And I think the ban will be deadly in this case unless Exchange messes it up completely. I will see if Eagle even decides to fight for this tower. He shouldn't send half of his army and move half back. That's definitely not the play. Maybe he just sacrificed the farm. It's a big loss because he has all the temples here, but it's better than dying, I would say. And he's doing the worst of... Okay, there's a ban. And he banned mostly soldiers because of the pioneers died before, and now Eagle should just go back, sacrifice the tower. He won't be able to hold it, and maybe wait for the reinforcements from his ally, which are on the way. Now the damage has already been done. All of the small temples fell, and now it's a matter of fact if he can hold this tower and the one on the left. Doesn't look like he will. It's very tough. How much combat power does Exchange has? It's 58%.
Could just go right now. But yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't think he can hold this.
Yeah, the reinforcements is a bit too late. 30 seconds and it would have been a different fight, but I don't think there would be enough to defend it. Eagle calls it GG.
Yeah. By the way, I really like the place where he banned the soldiers. Looks really cool.
Right in the middle of Stecken. Okay, and the last two towers fall. Bad spot on EG Rush, it's hard to hold. Yeah, I agree, but there was a lot of things that Eagle could have done to defend that, and I think there was a way. Multiple ways actually to try to hold that off, and especially calling for help earlier would be the play.
Yeah, probably avoid building farm. Like, when you have an Egyptian near to you, no matter if it's a 2 versus 2 game or 5 versus 5, you should build your weaponsmith as soon as possible.
Yep. Yeah, they always try something funny. And if they get gems, then you're in a big trouble. Now Steen is staying in the game still, but he has the spears. He found another gem mine. Let's see if he builds it, but I don't think so. He has the one that Exchange has, 34%. He's continuously making spears. Has level 2 now, which is good, but it's still a bit too little and too late. I don't think he can do anything to Stecken. There's 2 weaponsmiths working, and it's finishing the large temple. He should not have the converge as yet, but Festering Fear is also a pretty good damn spell defensively.
I mean, this game can go on for some time because Stecken don't have the gold, so maybe he can hold, but yeah, I don't think that he can win.
Yeah, he would have to do some crazy snipes on Exchange side. Kill him, actually, in order to have any chances of winning this one. Maybe he's waiting for his own ban, and he will try to attack and then probably surrender, I'd say. But soldiers from Exchange are already coming in to help Stecken, and once they arrive, I don't think there is any chance for Steen, unfortunately, to do much.
Yeah, that's true. We are just waiting for the killing blow.
So not a fast game, unfortunately. I mean, not that I like games that last 3 hours. I prefer like an hour and 15 minutes is perfectly. There's a lot going on, at least in theory. There can be a lot of back and forth action. Not too short, not too long. not too anticlimactic.
At least you're not alone today. I mean, I find this really funny that the only game that almost, I mean, one of the games that lasted more than 2 hours just happened to be you alone here.
Yeah, it's just my luck.
Because I believe over the whole tournament we had like maybe 2 or 3 games that lasted more than 2 hours.
Yeah, and I streamed one. I'm not sure how long Generalen Zena versus Mikash and Giorgio was. It was a long one, but I'm not sure if it was over 2 hours.
I'm not sure as well. Yeah, but it kind of depends also on the players, right? For example, my games are always super short.
Because you're a dirty cheeser.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, cheese can work in the tournament, in the 2v2 situation. The last
Yeah,
game.
in my opinion, it's the most important thing in those 2 versus 2, because yeah, in 5 versus 5 you don't have that much range on your soldier. You cannot do too much at the beginning, so you have to build your economy and yeah, wait for the gold basically. But here, like with that much of strength at the beginning, you can do crazy stuff.
You need a few gold bars and you can hit that damage spike and then try to do some damage. It's really the gold that is limiting factor in the larger games.
Even in that game we saw that like even if actions wouldn't attack, like Eagle had already trouble. Like he had to recruit level 1 spears, which yeah are weak basically. Then level 1 bows, like everything went wrong only because he was doing sword.
I'm not looking over. I'm now looking over Stecken's land, and he's very solid. He hasn't been playing that much lately, but I mean now he's obviously relaxed. He knows the game is pretty much over, but still, I used to scout around and see how they're playing. Who are they playing against? It's not you, right? After this?
No, I'm in the different branch. But I can check really quickly.
It's the losers bracket there at this point.
So the next game for them... Oh, we don't know yet, because it's the loser of the second semi-final? I'm not sure if that's semi-final, but the loser of Captain Obvious and Soma versus Amon, Schlep and Evolution.
Okay.
Which didn't happen yet.
I'm not really sure what they're waiting for, maybe for the convert for Tech in order to pull the trigger and try to finish this game, or maybe they're hoping Steen will try to attack at some point. Steen is going for the Pulsmith, so he's not giving up just yet, which is a good thing. I mean, if they lose, they're out of the tournament, so he should try to make as much as possible, but it doesn't look too good for him.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, maybe Stecken and Actions is just like they're just enjoying themselves and they don't have to do anything.
Yeah,
they can just wait.
They're waiting for gold as well. Stecken has the mine already, pretty good one too. He's not building the smelter, I think, but he'll rely on the gold ore purely for now. Now, it's worth pointing out that Exchange did use the ban. He doesn't have a Sphinx. He relied on 3 pyramids. So technically he should be slowing down right now because he won't have the meat. But he took quite a bit of resources from Igelschnauze. You can see there are iron ores lying around, which will keep him going for at least a few more minutes. And then he should invest in perhaps even 2 breweries and try to catch up with the mana. I don't think he isn't doing so, but I think just purely because they don't think that's necessary. I think they just they consider this game to be a victory already, so I don't think he doesn't bother to build anymore. But if this game was closer, he should be trying to catch up with mana, because that rush could, especially if it fails, could be very dangerous for the Egyptians. So this time it didn't.
The problem that I see is that Shin is also slowing down because he don't have bread. I mean, not yet, because they are still digging the mill.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how proficient Steen is at Egyptians. I think he played another game, I remember, also Egyptians, and it was a game against Fotter and his teammate, in which Igelschnauze was almost dead, but came back from the dead, and then they won the game.
Yeah, that was a crazy game. I really liked it.
Such team was playing Egyptians there as well. He played a bit better there. I think in this game he's just building correct buildings, but they sort of get built in the wrong order. First he messed up the waterworks, and now he messed up the grain mill, which is being built after the bakery. It's not something you wanna do.
Yeah, that's true, especially considering the fact that he's adding another iron smelter and weaponsmith, which won't work.
Okay.
Or he decided to give up.
He sees that the production isn't. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. He didn't build a mill.
He's going for the last attack.
Imagine if he just kills him here.
And win the game.
I'm always rooting for the underdog. Maybe in this case, maybe his spears get like a crazy amount of combat power, and there's a Stecken with convert. Obviously a cock blocker. Oh, he tried to convert the priest, but missed. Which team just tried to ban on the same island and missed?
Yeah, and they didn't fit, so it didn't quite work because he can just move back.
Okay, I think it should be a game over at this point. He's trying to lure them back in. They take the fight because the numbers are just overwhelming, even though Stecken doesn't have that much combat power. Yes, 40. I'm not sure if it's enough for this fight, but going in anyway.
Actually, he was trying to crash, but he can't.
Yeah, a bit slow on that. Stecken is fighting on his own land, at least half of his army. And his final soldiers are dying. That will be the game. And the mill is still not ready. Not lucky. Okay, GG's. Stecken exchange.
Very good game. Some actions.
Yeah.
Stecken. Some troubles at the beginning with building the mine, but yeah. After that everything was fine.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised that for Stecken, for exchange at the beginning, the build was a bit wonky, but it was good enough to win this game. Alrighty guys, let's take a look at the stats. Not much to see.
It clearly shows who was the better side.
Yeah, twice as many soldiers, even in gold, but mana overwhelmingly towards Stecken, who did not lose all of his small tempers at the beginning. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Gauson, for co-casting.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, guys.
And I guess I'll see you in the future games, guys. Bye bye.
Take care.